was Waco with the multi-species, right? Then field 2 was Milo in field 2, right? And field 3 was native rangeland, right? So I took a little soil from each of those, little topsoil, just in the top 2 to 3 inches. And then because it's dry, I re-wet them. Okay, so I put the same amount of moisture on each of them. And then it's a 20, and then I put a Solvita paddle. So there's a paddle inside each little packet. It's a gel paddle, and it goes into the container and it absorbs the CO2, it absorbs the respiration, right? And then because I'm not a very good color person, you can use this, okay? And if we did, then I would ask Kathy to read it, because I know red and white and black, but you know, red with a little orange or orange with a little, that doesn't work for me. So we're not going to use that, so I've got, assuming my batteries are still good, I've got one of these readers that actually give you a numerical value. And then this is kind of what we're looking at. 0 to 1 would be considered very low. So, my God, I hope we don't have any of those. But 0 to 1, dry, sandy soils that have little to no organic matter. I don't think we have any. All right. And then after that, it goes to moderately low. That's soils with marginal biological activity. So if it's from 1 to 2.5, marginal, moderately low. 3, now we're moving up in the world. That's medium. So you're in the 2.5 to 3.5. It's not uncommon to have a lot of them in there. Okay? And then ideal. Here's utopia. Here's where we rarely get to in my world. Okay? But now and then, get something falling in there. That's a nice one. So that's soils with sufficient organic matter content in populations of active microorganisms. That's a good indicator. You're in that 3.5 to 4, I'll take that. Yeah, for sure. And then 5 is unusually high. So that's a little bit strange, but soils with excessive organic matter content. So it takes a higher soil organic matter level to kick that one. So you put them in the container, and there's a little rubber pad that seals. So you get a little moisture on them, same amount of moisture in each one. You put the paddle in. I always put it toward the side of the container that I can see the paddle, because it's fun to watch them change colors. Okay, they start out purple. They start out a real deep purple, like the decal T-shirt right there of the young man. That's the way that paddle looks when it goes in. Okay, so that's how it starts. So this one is, we'll put it in the reader. This one is Waco Field 1. Okay, so is it still purple? No, he's had some things going on, right? He's got some things going on. So, clean off a little soil on that. We're gonna need a battery. Yeah, I don't think we took any along. Let's see if I can tell you. Oh, that's a big one. Otherwise, we're gonna have Kathy read it on the chart. Or somebody with younger eyes. So we got a 9-volt. Can we run down Walmart down the street here? That's all right. We'll read it.
On stage. Gotta lick him.
Candy's gonna.
That's right. Now see this live.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't think I'm gonna lick that. Well, I apologize for that, but my 9-volt is dead. Okay. So we're going to use the reader. Like I said, this is my preferred method of doing this. I would never consider really using this, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and match it up best we can. So I need an indication from you folks. Little down, am I close? Okay,
I would
so
say
what
five.
are we at? Are we at 4, more than 4? More than 4?
Yes.
Kathy, more than 4? Definitely more than 4? Is it more than 5?
What?
No, but I would say it's a little more than 5.
Okay, so we're down here probably pretty darn close to 5. We are actually probably going to fall into 4.0 to 5. That's an active soil. There's active biology in it. Okay. Remember when we looked straight down in that field? There wasn't a whole lot of residue left on that one. Okay. So very active. So that's our first one. That's the cover crop combination. Okay, then our next one was Milo. Help me out.
Only a AAA start.
That's okay.
3.5.
I'd say
Say
3.5.
Okay, about halfway between the last two.
No, I'd say.
Yeah, 4, I would say, hold it up to 3, 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's 4.
Okay, about 4-ish. You guys are all caps on. I'm sure your eyes are. Okay, about 4. Okay. So we are coming in. We're probably coming in right around this one with number 2. This one probably with number 1. We got over 4. And we have native rangeland. Let's see what that one looks like. So, native rangeland. 6. Looks really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'd go with 5. Yeah, that's strong 5.
Yeah, you're probably going to be again in that last category. So, hats off to Kansas. That was a pretty darn good influence, right? So I would say we probably are in this area right here, you're thinking? So they're all in the upper branch of activity. Now, I had to add some water to these because the surface is so dry, and if I put them into this container and there's no water, all dynamic soil properties take water to make function happen in soils. So when you don't have the water, they have a tendency to kind of go straight line static for a while. It waits. It waits. Okay? So it gives you an idea. So it's not an expensive process. The only expensive part is this part. Of course, that part didn't play out so well. But if you use this part and the paddles, then you got something rather inexpensive. So I always had one in the field office. And so when I was out at a farm, I grabbed a little bit of soil. Again, another indication, you had an understanding. So, also, I've done some work over the years with tree nurseries, commercial tree nurseries. They're notorious on soils. They're horrible on soils. And so this is an indicator that shows where they're at and what they can do to change. So, you know, it's just another tool. That's a good way to look at things. So. If you like, we'll do soil aggregates too. I mean, unless you...
No, I think we're good. I think the door's still open, so we're good. Keep going.
Okay, so with this one, I want you to get up and come up to the front here.